The 2024 to 2025 NCAA women's basketball season has already started with a bang. As the season tipped off on November 4th, all eyes were on UConn, aiming for a piece of history. Geno Auriemma's squad is poised to do something monumental, tie the legendary Pat Summitt's record of 1,098 career wins. With a team led by stars like Paige Bueckers, this UConn team is built to make a statement. Their first challenge? A daunting schedule that will test their mettle and their depth. But the question that's on everyone's mind is, can UConn get over the hump and win another national title? For Bueckers, this season is all about proving that she can lead her team to glory. The senior guard has already shown her brilliance in her collegiate career, and she's expected to dominate in her role this year. UConn will need her to stay healthy and play at a high level throughout the season, as they are definitely the team to beat. But it's not just about Bueckers. UConn's depth is a force in itself. Returning starters K. Arnold and Ashlyn Shade rejoin Paige on the court. Azzi Fudd is back and ready to bring it. And from San Diego, Ice Brady is set to establish herself as an asset for this UConn team. The bench is filled with talent ready to step up when needed. The Huskies' ability to seamlessly rotate players and execute their system is what makes them so dangerous. But UConn isn't alone at the top. South Carolina, the defending champions, remain a juggernaut in women's college basketball. Led by the indomitable Dawn Staley, the Gamecocks are as powerful as ever. South Carolina's size, speed, and defensive dominance are second to none. With Camila Cardoso now gone, there's a void in the front court, but the team has more than enough talent to stay elite. What makes South Carolina so difficult to beat is their defense. They suffocate their opponents and make every possession a challenge. The Gamecocks' ability to disrupt offensive sets and turn defense into quick points makes them a nightmare for any team they face. South Carolina's style of play grinds opponents down over time, wearing them out with their physicality and pace. The Gamecocks are more than capable of repeating as champions, and with Staley at the helm, they're always a threat to win it all. But in a sport that's as unpredictable as women's college basketball, there's always a team lurking in the shadows ready to make their own championship run. The USC women's basketball team has been a rising force in collegiate basketball, continuing to build on a strong legacy of excellence. Under head coach Lindsey Gottlieb, the Trojans have become a consistent contender in the Pac-12 conference and on the national stage. With an emphasis on strong defense and a fast-paced, high-scoring offense, the team has shown great depth and potential. Juju Watkins is one of the most exciting young players in NCAA women's basketball, and she has made an immediate impact on the USC women's basketball team as a freshman last season. A 6-foot 2-inch guard forward, Watkins is known for her scoring ability, versatility, and basketball IQ. Many view this sophomore as the star of the program, and she is expected to lead the team in the years ahead, potentially helping USC return to the Elite Eight and make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Her presence on the court has been electrifying, and fans and analysts alike are excited to see her development and the impact she will continue to have as she gets more experience at the collegiate level. Enter LSU. Coach Kim Mulkey, who has brought a fresh approach to Baton Rouge. Mulkey's leadership has rejuvenated the LSU program, and this year, the Tigers are looking to make a name for themselves with the roster changes from last season. With a strong, balanced roster, LSU has everything needed to remain at the top: depth, scoring, and a fearless mentality. The return of players like Flau'jae Johnson, who proved to be a game-changer in the Final Four and beyond, gives LSU the firepower to challenge anyone in the country inside. And with players like Anissa Morrow and Michaela Williams contributing in all areas of the game, LSU is primed to make a serious push for a title. But LSU isn't the only team with eyes on the prize. Their toughest competition will come from teams like UConn and South Carolina. But with their toughness and no-nonsense attitude, LSU will never back down from a fight. While the favorites are clear, there's always room for the underdogs to make noise. West Virginia is one of those teams flying under the radar, but with a serious shot at making a deep run. They've been quietly building over the past few seasons, and this year, they're ready to prove they belong in the national conversation. With a roster filled with scrappy, high-energy players, West Virginia has the potential to challenge some of the top teams in the country. Their biggest test will come when they face off against LSU, which could be a turning point for the program. A win over the defending champs would not only boost their resume, but would signal that West Virginia is ready to compete with the elite. If they can keep their momentum going and stay healthy, don't be surprised if West Virginia becomes one of the tournament's most dangerous teams. As the season unfolds, we're bound to see some electrifying rivalries play out. These matchups aren't just games. They're wars on the court that carry serious implications for seeding come March. One of the most anticipated games of the season? The showdown between UConn and South Carolina. These two programs have dominated the landscape for the past decade, and every time they meet, it's nothing short of a spectacle. Expect to see a clash of styles. UConn's fast-paced, perimeter-oriented offense against South Carolina's suffocating defense and dominant presence in the paint. With both teams boasting top-tier talent, these games will likely decide who comes out as the true favorite for the national championship. Then there's LSU. Kim Mulkey has instilled a winning mentality in this squad, and they've got the talent to back it up. A key game to watch will be LSU's face-off with a rising West Virginia team. LSU's battle-tested core will be put to the test in this matchup, and it's a chance for a team like West Virginia to prove they belong in the same conversation as the top dogs. But it's not just about the heavyweights. Some of the most thrilling games of the season will come from the unexpected contenders. Look at Iowa State. They've been quietly building something special. And if they can continue to build momentum, they could take down a top team when the stakes are high. Their next big test will come when they face a program like Stanford. Stanford may not be in the same conversation as UConn or South Carolina just yet, but their consistency and smart basketball make them a threat to anyone. Can a mid-tier team make a deep run in March? It's been known to happen before, so don't count out the underdogs. As we dive deeper into the early season, the numbers are starting to tell their own story. From points to rebounds to team dynamics, let's break down the key statistical leaders in women's college basketball through November 14th, 2024. At the top of the leaderboard, Destiny Adams from Rutgers has been an absolute scoring machine, averaging 26.7 points per game. Right on her heels is Olivia Pollard from Santa Clara, putting up 26.0 points per game. These two have been lighting up the scoreboard early, and it's clear they're the go-to players for their respective teams. In third place is Michaela Purdue of Cleveland State, who's averaging 25.3 points per game, while Tanya Latson from Florida State has been close behind at 25.0. Reagan Beers of Oklahoma and Chelia Watson of Buffalo are tied at 24.7, continuing to dominate their matchups with their scoring prowess. Further down the list, Molly Kaiser, New Mexico State, Miana Hooper, Detroit Mercy, and Hannah Hidalgo, Notre Dame, round out the top 10, all averaging 24 or more points per game. These numbers reflect how important individual scoring is becoming in college basketball this season. When it comes to cleaning the glass, Michaela Timpson of Florida State and Destiny Adams of Rutgers are in a league of their own, both averaging 15.0 rebounds per game. These two players are just as dominant on the boards as they are on offense. Following them is Maggie Hartwig of Evansville, who has been snatching up 14.3 rebounds per game. China Cornwell from Rutgers and Jennifer Adland of Idaho round out the top 5, with both players averaging over 13 rebounds per game. The battle for the boards is tight, with Fanta Gassama, New Mexico State, Reagan Beers, Oklahoma, Cece Aleko, Eastern Michigan, and Sarah Williams, Wisconsin, all averaging 12 rebounds or more per game. These players are making a serious impact on both ends of the floor, securing possessions for their teams. Looking at the team scoring leaders, Texas has been putting up a jaw-dropping 107 points per game, proving they can outpace just about anyone. Prairie View isn't far behind, averaging 105 points per game, while LSU continues to shine, putting up 102 points per game. As expected, powerhouse teams like Notre Dame, 99.7, Michigan State, 99.5, and Ohio State, 99.0, are also putting up impressive scoring numbers. These high-scoring teams are playing fast-paced, up-tempo games that keep fans on the edge of their seats. On the flip side, McNeese has been suffocating on defense, allowing just 35.3 points per game. Clemson, 36.7, and Central Arkansas, 37.0, follow close behind, showing that these teams are locking down on opponents and making it tough to score. Auburn, 38.3, and UConn, 40.5, are also among the top defenses, while LSU and TCU, both at 41.3, round out the top 6. As the season progresses, it'll be interesting to see how these defensive squads hold up against the high-powered offenses at the top. The early season statistics paint a fascinating picture of how the season is shaping up. From individual scoring feats to dominant rebounding performances, it's clear that some players and teams are already asserting themselves as the ones to watch. Whether it's Destiny Adams putting up monster numbers, Michaela Timpson and Destiny Adams controlling the boards, or Texas lighting up the scoreboard, the competition is fierce. But defense is just as critical, with McNeese and others proving that slowing down opponents can be just as effective as running up the score. These early stats give us a glimpse into the stories that will unfold throughout the season, with these leaders continuing to push the limits of what's possible in women's college basketball. Keep an eye on these players and teams as they make their mark on the 2024 to 2025 season. Who will raise the trophy in April? Could it be UConn's chance to add another title? Will South Carolina take back-to-back championships, or will a new contender emerge? The stage is set, and the action is just beginning. Stay tuned.